Recent figures from the Association for Council Housing showed that 79% of people claiming universal credit were in arrears on rent, owing something like £618 on average, whereas people in receipt of housing benefit, only 31% of them were in rent arrears, and their overall rent arrears was on average £131. So the disparity between people on universal credit and people on housing benefit, the old benefit system, is shocking, it's staggering. Seeing that this lump sum payment that universal credit offers with no special provision for housing means people are struggling to get by. And if you look at the 6-week delay to benefit that's currently being debated, it's going to make things far, far worse. We're at risk of an entire generation of people who no longer believe that adequate safe housing is their right. At the same time, the way that benefit levels are measured against the median rental in the area means that it's harder and harder and harder for people on lower incomes to stay where they grew up, where they were born, to build communities. I met a woman called Emily who lived in Leeds, who the quality of her flat was so appalling. She was trying to raise a young son. She had mold on the walls, it was badly painted, her health was deteriorating, her son's health was deteriorating, and she couldn't find anywhere better because the amount she was allowed in housing benefit was not sufficient for adequate accommodation. And in the end she left Leeds and had to go back to her grandma's house. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people who are being forced out of city centres, what they call the suburbanisation of poverty, almost like a social cleansing. So that if you're on a lower income, you don't get to live anywhere nice, you get to live out in terrible accommodation and largely be ignored.